Hi, it's Monday. Here's a tablet. Here's some coffee. There's you. I'm right here. We got everything we need. Everything we need to do this show. Everything we need to do a show. I feel like I'm in a silly mood. I think that's a good sign. Here we go. Three, two. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Monday, August 24th, 2020. My name's Jeremy, and this is my first cup of very full coffee. Overfilled it a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. It's all good. Might be able to hear the hydroponic system draining. It should go for a little bit right now, but it's on a 30-minute timer, so we should be fine. It shouldn't bother us again. It's actually doing okay. I'm starting to figure out what that thing does and how it works, and there's some seeds growing in it, and they have roots, and they put out leaves. It's crazy. I don't know how long it's going to take to get food out of it, but pretty hands-off. I don't have to worry about weeding. I don't have to worry about bugs. I don't have to worry about watering it. So we'll start with greens and get some success there and just keep going. Have food all winter. It's crazy. I had a good weekend. Not necessarily an easy weekend, but a good weekend. There were some challenges. Just personally. You know, I'd really like to just be able to put everything on hold for a few months. Just all the challenging bits of life. Just the cat and my home and the car being stupid. Just all these problems, right? Life has challenges. I would just like to be able to put them down for a few months and just wander away. There's something very romantic about that. But I'm too responsible to do that, so I won't do that. I won't put my burdens on anyone else. I've never been one who does that. I take care of my stuff. So other than that, what happened this weekend? Got some time outside, went for some walks, worked outside a little bit, worked around the house, destroyed a wasp nest, killed a few earwigs. For some reason, this has been the summer of earwigs coming in my house. I don't really understand why, but I'd rather they didn't come in my house. What else? Hung out with friends, hung out with family. Slept in. Watched TV, watched movies. Watched a documentary. Okay. If you are into ridiculous things, I don't want to spoil this. In order to get you to watch this, I would have to ruin it. So I'm not going to do that. There's a documentary on Netflix called Tread, Tread. You should watch it. It's fascinating. It's one of, how can I put it? It's one of the coolest, not in a positive way necessarily, one of the most dramatic, real life things that you've probably never heard about, that the news should have been all over, but something kind of usurped the news cycle because of the timing of when it happened. So, go watch Tread. And then tell me you're not happy you watched it. It is so ridiculous. What else is going on? It's Monday, so there should be an episode of Martial Arts Radio. Let's check on that. I've got a busy day. Well, not too bad. I've got a client in the morning. I worked a little bit yesterday. I had a I've got a new client coming on, hopefully, and I finished their initial report on what I should do, what I want to do for them yesterday, and sent that out. So that was helpful. That felt good. Well, over here. Here we go. A little bit of email. Nope, not up yet. I may go live in a few minutes. Who knows? It's all mystery. I know I got a couple interviews tomorrow. What else going on? My massage therapist friend is working on me later today, which I'm in need of. He's very skilled, very competent. And I do some work for him, so we're going to trade. So that's great. What else? It's getting cold at night. It's supposed to rain today. Oh, you know what? I had a dream. I had a powerful dream. One of those dreams where you wake up and you're like, whoa, okay. It's some pretty personal stuff, so I'm not going to go into it. But it felt very clear, like somebody was telling me, hey, here's the answer. We've been trying to tell you more quietly, but you're not listening, so here's the answer. Okay? I got the answer. Now I just got to do something with it. Not always easy. And what else is going on in between? I go to the gym. Work out. Just get stuff done. Probably end up at Panera for lunch and do some work. It's really become my office away from my office. I mean, $8.99 unlimited coffee. I don't feel like I'm stealing their tables because I'm paying something. There's nobody there. It's great. It's a great spot. Plenty of parking. Which is not typical of a coffee shop. I want one more day on the weekend. I've said this before. I want 3-day weekends. I think we need them. Right, Zuza? She's mad at me because she feels the food I gave her is substandard. Something. All right. What else? Oh, and you may start seeing ads for the Whistlekick programs on Facebook. That should be coming soon. All right. What we got? What have you all written in? If you want to write something, if there's something you want me to talk about, answer, question, respond to a quote or a story, drop it below. And I will answer it tomorrow, because that's what I do. And it looks like today we have comments from Paul and Frank. Paul says, Jay, I see the improvement. And by the way, I believe this is Paul's first comment on this, but Paul has been a loyal listener to Martial Arts Radio for years. Paul was the first person to send me a letter, like an actual written out letter. I've enjoyed conversing with Paul for a long time. I see the improvement. Well, thank you. For digital course, check out Amy. It says any, I think you mean Amy Portfield. I don't know the name. Podcast or website. Podcast School of Marketing. That I've heard of. Going to ever have Mark D on again. Thanks. I assume Mark D is Mark Divine. Probably not. Mark's pretty busy. I felt like we did a good job of getting his story down. Mark Divine is a former Navy SEAL, SEAL trainer, martial artist. He's got a podcast. He's involved in CrossFit, or at least was. Good guy. I mean, just really solid. And I think Greg Amundsen connected me with him, because I've always wanted to have Mark on the show. Mark's a great guy. Greg's a great guy. Greg's in a small camp of people who recorded 2 episodes because he didn't like the first one. We've only done that, I think, twice. We've had a couple people that we lost the episode, but Greg said, nope, I didn't like it. Let's do it again. I forgot my audience. And we did. It was an honor to talk to Mark. He's a good guy. You know, when we have somebody on, it doesn't mean that the story's over. It doesn't mean we would never have them back on. In fact, we have a lot of internal discussion about how do we incorporate video? Yeah? She's grunting. How do we do video? Who comes back on and for what reasons and when? And there are no great answers. When it comes to video, what you don't know, what you don't see is that we've got a lot of guests who can't handle the audio. They struggle getting that to work. And so adding video adds a level of complexity in not just the technical side for the guests, it adds a different dynamic for me because now I don't just need to be present and thinking, which is often with my eyes closed. I have to be present and look cool on video. Now I have to worry about, did I shave today? What's going on in the background? Is the camera at the right angle? It uses more bandwidth and it makes editing far more complicated. If we just edit a video segment, you know, take out a part where somebody paused, you've got a really hard transition. You can tell, oh, they edited that. We try not to do that. So video's tough. When we do video internally or when I do a video episode, it's one take. I don't edit it. If I mess something up, I just kind of run with it. Because that's kind of how you have to do video. So, there's a long answer to a question nobody asked. Still drinking that, what should be not very good, but is quite good Folgers coffee. And we also have 4 quotes today from Frank. It's what you don't see that can take you out. B. Davis Kroon. Yes. Anybody who's been in, the real thing or mock scenarios like a bar fight or something knows that you really can only pay attention to one person at a time, or if you're really good, multiple people in your field of view. Well, how far can I see? I can see this. Let's see. I can see this. Hold on, I'm watching the camera. Let me watch out the front. I can see this. I can see this. I can see this. I can see movement here. I can't see this, right? So as soon as I get to here, which is just past 180. So 360 degrees, I've got 160 that I can't see. Almost half of what's around me I can't see while I'm focused this way. Which means if you're in a bar fight, somebody's buddy comes up and stabs you in the back. I think we had somebody on the show who talked about this, that this happened to them. This is why not getting into a fight is the best strategy. This is why if you get into a fight, getting out of it as quickly as possible is the second best strategy. Standing there trying to take people in movies, just doesn't work. Next time you watch a movie with a fight scene where there are multiple attackers, watch how the attackers wait for their turn. Why? Because it wouldn't be anywhere close to realistic if they did. There are times, and there's choreography where they do better with that. But most of the time, even though it's multiple attackers, it's still a lot of one-on-one. I've done slow drills with this, and I get my butt kicked. Because if you're in the middle, you're gonna get your butt kicked. This is why going to a wall, having a wall behind you, it can be so valuable, because then you know somebody's not behind you. It's why fair fights are dumb. Somebody starts a fight with you, you end it with whatever's around. You get out of there. It's not. It's not worth the style points. It's not worth the risk. Next. Your anger is your first enemy. Mohamed Othman. Talked a little bit about anger last week, and how anger doesn't serve anything. Clouds your judgment, blurs your vision, makes you focus on the wrong things. Stupid fly. I don't get angry often. I try not to get angry at all. I don't like how I feel when I'm angry. I get frustrated. No, we all get frustrated. And it's from that frustration that anger really, I think, comes. I've worked hard not to be angry. I used to be a pretty angry person growing up, and even into my 20s. I would get mad. Oh, I didn't like that side of me. I worked really hard to develop the communication skills and the patience to not show that part of who I am to other people, because nobody deserves to see that. And to this day, I really struggle when people yell. I don't like yelling. I got yelled at a lot growing up. I don't like it. It's the volume part, the screaming part. I've been around, we've all been around plenty of people yelling, sometimes at us, sometimes at other people. I gotta leave the room. It's not something that I can handle easily. Ever tried? Ever failed? No matter. Try again. Fail again. Fail better. Masaaki Hatsumi. I like that. Fail better. Now, many of you know my feelings on the word fail. I don't like the word fail. To fail means that you've actually given up. You've stopped trying. It's over. It's not really how most people use the word fail, but that's what it means to me. The fail is to not succeed. So, don't succeed, but do a better job of it. Stumble forward. Find a way to persist. Fail better. That makes sense. That's how we approach a lot of things. It's how we approach standing and walking as children. It's how we approach sparring when we start martial arts. It's how we approach talking. It's literally everything that we do is getting progressively better through our failures. Which is why I get really frustrated when people who are teaching will pick apart someone's effort. Don't show somebody the application of a form if they can barely remember the sequence of movements. Unless that person has a shot at remembering it better because of the application, but I've never met anyone that way. Progress at anything is layered. Being able to stumble your way through from start to finish is the first layer. Getting really good at the first two moves of a form misses the point. I'd rather somebody be sucky at the whole form than really good at the first two moves and remember none of the rest. Fail better. Not a good slogan for a company. But it's it's pretty darn equivalent to never settle, isn't it? Never settle, fail better. Fail better assumes that the intervention of the company will help you to fail better. It's not something we want to be associated with. But depending on how you look at it, it's the same thing. What's failing? Failing is not meeting the standard that you've set. If you set the bar really high, doesn't matter what other people see. Other people could see rousing success. You may see failure. You may see complete abject failure. There have been a lot of things in my life that have been that way. Everybody else thinks I did great. Not by my standard. I hated it. And our last quote for the day: fear and guilt can also destroy you like an enemy. The more you resist, the more they persist. Like in martial arts, do not resist them. Observe your opponent's strength and use it to your benefit to win over them. Raju Ramanathan. Fear and guilt. Well, let's break them down. Fear. What's fear? Fear, as far as I see it, is one of two motivating forces in the universe, the other one being love. Love is great. Love is a wonderful reason to do things. I gave somebody a hug yesterday that I knew needed it, that I didn't really want to. This is kind of extended family. I could have easily gotten out of the situation without hugging this person, but this person could use more people being loving to them. So I did. For me, when I look at the world, where's the loving action that's really easy? But what about fear? I haven't talked much about fear. Fear is the motivation for most of what most people do. Let's take exercise. There are lots of reasons that you could exercise and get into better shape that are loving. Better for you, better for your kids, healthy, feel good, lots of stuff like that. What do most people do? They wait until their doctor says, hey, you're gonna die, or you need to go on this medication, or some reason like that. How many people wait until they've been attacked to start martial arts? How many people wait until retirement's 10 years off to start saving money, right? Love is where we want to be. Fear is where most of us are. Don't get me wrong. Fear is a wonderful motivator, and it's one that drives me a lot in my life. I just try not to let it get there. I try not to take the fearful path. But there are times that you use it. Over a year ago, when I started restructuring Whistlekick and doing consulting work, that was fear. It was without a doubt fear. I looked at the cash flow projections and said, there's no way I will survive if I don't bring in other money. I was afraid. I was terrified. There was a couple-day period where I blocked everything off and I just sat with the books and what can I cancel? I canceled Netflix at one point. I had nothing coming in. Scary. I was afraid. Sometimes you got to use that fear. What about guilt? Guilt is something I'm very well acquainted with. I think we all are. It's not an emotion that I enjoy. Guilt comes from an outcome that on some level you don't feel you deserve. If you're doing financially well and the people around you are not, you may feel guilty because it's normal in that group of people to not be doing well. we can make all kinds of comments about those people and how the right people would be happy for you. So that's a different thing. I feel guilty when people help me. Why? Why do I feel guilty? Because I was raised to do everything myself. Stacy says, guilt is like disappointment. They are far more crippling in my life than fear. Guilt's a complex emotion. It's one I haven't spent a lot of time unpacking. Maybe this will be the motivation to do so, to think about it more, to think about where I can be more appreciative rather than guilty. Guilt holds us back. Lottery winners tend to lose all their money within, 5 years or something? Because on some level, they don't feel they deserve it. That's another word for that. It's pretty close to guilt. They feel guilty that they won. So if there's something good going on for you, and you feel guilty about it, time to unpack that. Why do you feel guilty? Who told you that you don't deserve that? We all deserve. We all deserve enough. We all deserve the life that we want. And there's enough to go around. You don't have to be afraid of taking all of it. You don't have to be afraid of depriving someone else. Fight for what matters. Fight for what's important to you. Don't let guilt and fear get in the way. Love yourself. Love the people around you. Love your journey. Whether that's your martial arts journey, your professional journey, your private journey, whatever it is. Be grateful for the opportunity, for the growth, the progress. And know that if you want to be, you can be an entirely different and better person because of that, the gift of that challenge. All right. Time to finish this coffee and get ready for my day. Stacy says, usually I am my own best judge, jury, and chief guilter. I think we all are, Stacy. All right, here is your homework. You don't have your homework. But if you want to support the show, here are the things I'm looking for. 1, looking for you to leave some questions, comments, quotes, whatever below, and I'll answer them tomorrow. 2, if you want to support us financially, Patreon or whistlekick.com, use the code FIRSTCUP15. If you want to go deeper, go to whistlekick.com, go to whistlekickmartialartsradio.com, download the podcast, check out everything that's going on there, follow along, get the newsletter. There's a ton of stuff out there. Martial Journal, grab a t-shirt, whatever. Why do we do it? We do it for you. We do it for the traditional martial artists because, what I wanted wasn't out there. So I made it. With the help of many people. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Take care. Peace.